So here's a question I want to ask you. Where are you positioned financially? Are you struggling financially? Are you trying hard to see that you keep on making more than you are making before, and then you see that and then you find it hard to make more than you are making before? Or are you in a level of financial freedom? Now, a lot of us could be working in either our jobs, or maybe we are self-employed, but we tend to see that the income that we're getting is not enough for us. Now, making money is one of the very easy thing anybody can do. You can just start a job and then you start making income from it, or you can just start rendering a service to somebody and then you earn an income from it. But our income is separated into 4 different levels. So for any job you are working in currently, there are 4 levels of income you could be in currently. So now let's divide them into the 4. Firstly, we have earned income. So if you are working in a job now, for example, in a 9 to 5 job, or let's say you are self-employed, you have your skill that you are rendering to people, that you are offering to people, right? For every single work you do for somebody, the income you get is called earned income. It's called earned income. Why? Because you are being paid for the service you are rendering to the person. You are being paid for the value you are offering to that person. So that's what makes your income an earned income. The second income is a portfolio income. So for this portfolio income, let's say you have different assets, like you invest in stocks or you invest in bonds, and then you have a lot of your income from those assets you have. Now that is called portfolio income. Is an income you earn from the assets you already have in place. So now the third type of income is royalties. Royalties. Now, what is royalty now? Royalty now, for example, let's say you are a musician, or you are a singer, for example, and then you are invited to a concert. Then whenever you go and perform in that concert, the reward they give you, the money they give you, is called a royalty, because you earn it from the performance you did in that concert. So that's what made it a royalty. So that income you earn now is called royalty. The fourth type of income we have is called passive income. Passive income. This income is an income that you earn from your assets on a daily basis. That's what made it passive. On a daily basis, you are earning your income from this asset on a daily basis, unlike portfolio income. Portfolio income you are earning from your assets, right? But this passive income is an income you are earning on a daily basis. So now let's say you have a lot of these assets like real estate, or you have your own personal business, or you have your own big business, right? The money you are earning from your business and your assets is called passive income, because it's coming on a consistent basis, on a daily basis. So now for the money you are earning, for the income you are earning, they are divided into different aspects. Now, what I'm showing you now is called the cash flow quadrants. Here we have E, here we have S, here we have B, and then here we have I. So now, for a lot of us that are employees, we work in a 9 to 5 job, and then they pay us every single month, or every single day, or hourly for working in the organization. Now we're in the employee quadrant. This is called employee, because we only get paid when we work in the organization. When we use our time and work in the organization for a specific duration, then they pay us for the work we did. Then the second quadrant here, we have self-employed, or we call it specialist. We call it self-employed, or we call it specialist. Now these people, now they earn their income by the skill they have. Let's say for a video editor, now he edits video, then is a skill now that is earning money for him. So now let's say a fashion designer now that sews clothes now, his or her skill is making income for him. That's the self-employed now. So these are the two quadrants. We have employee, we have self-employed on the left side. Then on the right side here we have big business, and then we have investor. So now these people now in the big business quadrants, they earn money from the businesses that they have, from thriving businesses that they have created, and then this business is creating income for them. So they earn from their business. Let's say all these big businesses like Meta, Facebook, all of these, Amazon and Tesla and SpaceX, you can see that they are big businesses. So the owners of those businesses, they earn their income because of the business that they have established for themselves, right? Then the fourth, this investor, these people earn money by the assets they have invested in. So if a person now invests in real estate now, he earns money. He's called an investor because he earns from his assets, which is the real estate. Or let's say a person now invests in a startup business, and then the business is now thriving and now making massive results, right? He now earns his shares from that company because he invested when the company was starting up. So these people now, they invest in the assets. They earn money from the assets they have invested in. So let's say this person also have assets with stocks. He also have stocks and bonds and all of these mutual funds, right? He earns money from the commission he gets from those assets he has invested in. For you to do well and for you to create massive results and earn a huge income, it depends on what you think the purpose of money is. It depends on what you think the purpose of money is. It depends on your psychology about money. So your psychology about money tends to determine whether you make more of it or less of it within the period of time. So now, 4 people were walking on the road. This is the road here. Is a T-junction. This T-junction here. So 4 people were standing by different side of the road. This is A, this is B, this is C, and then this is D. And then this is D here. And then this is the accident that happened. So when this accident occurred, these people thought different things entirely. So the name of this guy here is Haj. The name of this guy here is Oj. The name of this guy here is Ob. And then the name of this guy here is Oz. So these are the windows. These are their perspective on what they think about the accident and how to solve the problem. So when this guy saw the accident, which is the money problem, then the first thing that comes to his mind, his perspective on what he thought about solving the problem was to have a job. Just get a job. Just get a job, and then when you get a job, they will pay you for the services you are rendering them, and then you can now solve your money problem, your money accident. So this guy here, when he saw the accident, the first thing that came to his mind was to own a job. So when he saw the accident, his own perspective was different from this guy here. His own was to own the job. Then this guy here is sad. This guy here is sad. Then this guy here is happy. Why? Because he discovered to solve this problem, he has to own a business. Owning a business will help him to solve this money problem. Then this guy here, he thought to solve this problem, I have to own a system. So you can see why most times I say your perspective on what you think the purpose of money is determine how much of it you will make or how less of it you will make. So now this guy, when he saw the money problem, he thought of why not I just get a job, and then when I get a job, I'll now have the money so that I can maybe either settle my bills, or maybe pay my bills, or maybe pay for a lot of stuffs, right? So he thought on having a job. Then this guy now thought of owning a job. He said, instead of having a job, I don't need to have a job and be under somebody. I should be the boss of myself. So he learned a skill, or let's say maybe he learned a skill, or he created a little business, and then he created a job for himself. Then this guy now thought, okay, instead of me to have a job, or instead of me to own a job, I rather own a business. So owning a business now will be a more better leverage for me. Then the fourth guy thought of owning a system. Now there's a difference between this guy and this guy. Some of you watching this video might want to say, but it's still the same thing. The difference between owning a business and owning a job. Owning a job, you are the leverage. You, as the owner of the job, you are the leverage of that particular job. It is only your presence in that job that determines whether you make money or not. Only your presence in that job will determine whether you make money or not, whether you thrive financially or you struggle financially. Why? Because you are the only person. Now, what makes this guy different here is because he believes, I don't have to do it by myself. I can hire a lot of people, I can leverage on a lot of people to come and help me do the work, and then I'll pay them for it. That is what makes these two people different: owning a business and owning a job. So now this guy, now he sells his time. This guy sells his time. So he's deprived of one of the best commodity we have, one of the greatest commodity we have, which is time. He's deprived of time. This guy is also deprived of time. Because when you own a job, when you travel and go out of the country, your money stops coming in, your money stops flowing. But when you are now present in that your job you create, then you can now keep on making more money. But for you now that own a business, for this guy now that owns a business, the people working for him, he has managers, he has employees, he has directors, and then all of the system that he have developed in place for his business will not require his presence. So that means his presence in the business is not required. So because of the system he have developed for himself, he's now making money from that business he created. So now owning a system, now for this owning a system, this guy now thought of, I can leverage on different things. I can leverage on different things for me to make money financially, for me to strive financially, and then create financial independence. So now this guy leveraged on a lot of things. Let's say he leveraged on OPM, other people's money. He leveraged on OPT, other people's time. He leveraged on social media channels. He also leveraged on, let's say, assets. Again, he has assets like real estate and other different assets. He has stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and all of this. So now you can see that the system he has already developed in place is already working for him. So that's the difference between owning a system and owning a job. For you to own a job now, you are the only leverage. You have to be present at that moment. But owning a system, when you have developed that system and then put it in place, then you can now make money financially. You can now strive financially. So now what everybody needs is income. So now, as long as you have an income, there is a possibility for you to be rich financially. There is a possibility for you to create wealth materially, right? As long as you have an income that is coming in. It only depends on how you use your income. How do you use your income? Do you use it to acquire expenses like this, or do you use it to acquire liabilities, or do you use it to acquire assets? Now, a lot of people that are struggling, that tend to make more money in their job, they tend to make more income in their jobs, but they tend to see that the income is not enough for them, is not sufficient for them. It depends on how they use their money, right? So now a lot of people use their money to acquire expenses. Now, when I talk of expenses, they are basic needs for human to survive. Now, human needs water, they need clothes, they need shelter, they need they need shelter, they need water, they need clothes, they need food. Thank you. They need food. And then these are the basic needs of a human. So whenever you earn your income, you need to satisfy these needs. You just have to satisfy them because you cannot do without them. So now expenses, when I talk of expenses, it means acquiring things you don't need at the moment. You are getting these things just to satisfy yourself for the present pleasure. Now let's say expenses now, they range from different things. Let's say, for example, a new phone or a new shoes, or let's say accessories, or let's say utilities, and all of these things. Now, for your income, one thing about your income is that if it can satisfy your present need, your basic needs, which is food, water, shelter, and clothing, if it can satisfy you, then use the rest of the income and then acquire assets. That's the difference between the rich people and the poor people. Rich people acquire assets that will pay them even if they don't have any other source of income. So now these assets now that they have acquired now will keep on paying them. Even if they lose their job, their assets will keep on paying them and keep on creating more income for them. But when you spend your income acquiring expenses, you see that the more money you make, the more money you keep on losing. Why? Because you are acquiring things that will satisfy just your present pleasure. So now what do you need to do now? What you need to do is to reduce the expenses. You cancel out things that are not necessary for you at that moment. Then going for the things that are necessary for you. For example, like food, like the shelter, like the clothing too. Clothing, and then water also. If you can just go for the basic needs, then what you need to do with the rest of your income is to acquire these assets. Now, liabilities. Now, this is where most of the middle class people fall under. Let's say middle class here. Here let's say poor. Here let's say rich, or let's say wealthy. Now, the middle class people now, they feel, because one thing about the middle class people is because they tend to get a high amount of pay, maybe in their job now, they pay them a huge amount of money. So now they are being contented, or let me not say contented, they feel comfortable with what they are earning. So now with what they are earning now, they tend to acquire liabilities. And when I say liabilities, what do I mean? Liabilities are things that take out money from your pocket, that are not contributing to your account. They are taking out from your account. An example is a car. A car is a liability. Why is it a liability? Because it takes out money from your pocket because of fuel, because of maintenance, service, and other stuff, and then changing of tires and all of these things. So it's taking money out of your pocket. So in order for you to acquire liabilities, you need to make sure your asset is in place. Your asset is very, very secure for you. Even if you acquire liabilities, it's not going to shake your asset column. So now, aside cars, we have other different liabilities that take out money from a person's pocket, right? So now this is it. Your income now, it depends on what you do with your income. If you acquire expenses, liabilities, or assets. Now assets, let's say like real estate. In my previous In my previous video, I talk about different assets you can acquire, whether real estate. Just go and watch the video. You are going to see all the assets I made mention of. So your asset now is your leverage, is your source of income, Now let's say you have a real estate as an asset, then let's say you have a digital asset, then let's say you have your BAQ as an asset, which is bank account as an asset, right? Let's say you have all of these assets in place, then you can see that they are now generating income for you. So even if you don't work for money, these assets you have stored in place, they are generating income for you, right? So if you can use your income and then acquire assets, then you can see that your financial struggle will reduce, and then you move to a level of financial security, from financial security to financial vitality, independence, and then freedom. So that is it basically, guys. So I want to ask you a question: where are you positioned financially, and where do you desire to be in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? Do you desire to struggle in the next 5 years, or do you desire to be in a level of independence financially in the next 5 years? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you like this video, share this video to your family and friends. Also, make your comments on what you think about this video, and then also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are watching from Facebook, you can just pick up your smartphone and then search for Tuggar Isaac, and then you see my channel. Then subscribe to our channel so that you get a notification whenever we upload our next video. Also, click on the notification bell so that you get notified. Also, click on the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as we drop our next video. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Com Scouts.